Hey guys, Mason here. Welcome back to The Sweet Spot, where I create delicious desserts that you guys can follow along with at home. As always, the full written recipe and list of ingredients, they're down below in the description box. Also, while you're down there, if you want to join the family, just click that subscribe button and you'll get 2 new videos every week. Alright, today we're making something from one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Now I know these are popular in New Orleans and they're popular at Mardi Gras time. It's the infamous Café du Monde beignets. My version that I'm making is Tiana's man-catching beignets from The Princess and the Frog. They're so easy to make. They come together in just a matter of minutes. The only thing is we have to wait on the dough to rise. If you all want the recipe, stick around and we'll get started.
To our mixer bowl, we're going to add 1 packet or 2 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast with 3/4 cup of warm water that's about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we need to give the yeast something to feed on, so we're going to put 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar in this mixture. We're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. We're going to give it a quick whisk. Now after it sits for a little bit, you'll notice the bubbles will start forming. This is when we're going to add 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 large egg, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter that's been melted and is at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2/3 cup of whole milk. Now we're just going to give this a quick whisk to make sure everything is incorporated. Now with our stand mixer, we're going to add half of our 4 cups of all-purpose flour to the wet mixture. Just get that going on a low speed, and then we're going to add the rest of the flour. Now we're going to let this knead for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now we're going to place this mixture into a greased bowl that we're going to cover with a hand towel and put someplace warm, and we're going to let this rest for the better part of an hour, and it'll almost double in size. Now when we have about 15 minutes left of our waiting time, we're going to go ahead and add our unflavored oil to a pot. We want 3 to 5 inches here, just deep enough for our beignets to float in. You're going to bring this temperature up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now after our beignets are finished setting, we're going to go on ahead and dump that out onto a floured surface. We're going to get to rolling this. We're going to knead this a couple more times just to make sure everything's incorporated. Now we're going to roll these out to a 1/4 of an inch thickness. They will be pretty thin, but don't worry, as soon as they hit that oil, they're going to puff up very nicely. We're going to let these sit again covered for another 5 to 10 minutes. Now to cut our beignets, I just use a pizza wheel. It's the easiest way for me. You can cut these into triangles or the traditional squares. I chose squares because in the movie, that's what Tiana's look like. Now let's begin frying. gonna let them fry for 1 minute on the first side to ensure that we get a nice puff, and then flip those over and let those continue frying for another minute to a minute and a half. You just wanna make sure that these are done all the way through. But if you have a nice puff, they're light and airy all the way through, so there's not really anything to worry about. Look at these, you guys. Aren't they beautiful? I just top them off with honey, like Tiana does in the movie, and of course, powdered sugar. I really hope you guys give these a try. They're absolutely delicious. From my home to yours, enjoy.